It begins. Fresh hopes, fresh dreams. New players, old rivalries. Match day 1 of the AFC Champions League Elite. The league stage in the East region, and our home today is the Thunder Castle for a meeting between Buriram United and Johor Darul Tazim. The greatest teams in Thailand and Malaysia are about to meet once again. A rematch of the round of 16 in the last edition of this great competition. The greatest club competition in the great continent of Asia. And the greatest team on that occasion, marginally, just about, by a 1-0 win on aggregate, Buriram United. Say it quietly though, because the managers have said they do not want to focus on what happened before. So many new players, they want to put that behind them, and they want to play this on its own merits in front of these great supporters in this magnificent competition. But do the players that were there really believe it? Is there something lingering for them, for those Johor Darul Tazim players who experienced defeat in the enormous sporting rivalry that is effectively the Southeast Asian Championship to kick off the AFC Champions League Elite League stage? Time to control the emotions. And I'm not just talking about the players, I'm talking about you at home, because this is going to be an intense encounter. It may be a low-scoring one as well, because historically it is when teams from these countries meet each other at the highest level. That's because there is so much at stake and such expectation too. They call this place and they call this team the Thunder Castle, and you will discover why. Time for the Southern Tigers to sharpen their claws and be ready. Moments away from the start of another fantastic AFC Champions League Elite. Who will be the finest club in the continent of Asia? We're a long way from discovering, but it has to start somewhere, and there's no better place than this wonderful arena. The coaching staff have prepared their players. Now they will stand on the sidelines and hope that the game plan is kept to amidst the heat and the emotion of this huge fixture. And that is easier said than done. Eight match days to come. Time to feel the breath of Buriram. Time for the teams to inhabit the Thunder Castle. They have dominated in their nations for so long. Now they wish to truly dominate on the continental stage. First, they must beat each other. And we are fortunate to get to witness it. How will the new players gel? That's the question. Judging on what we've seen in the league from both of these teams, nothing to worry about. But translating that to the AFC Champions League, that might be a different matter. This is the elite stage. What a crowd. What a competition. Let's get it underway. Time to fly the flag. Time to believe that anything is possible. Football fans love the start of a competition, and what a competition this is. From the tunnel to the pitch, from the start to the end, who will be the finest? You're watching the 2025-2026 AFC Champions League Elite. It's the league stage in the East region, and the setting is the Thunder Castle in Thailand. Buriram United against Johor Darul Tazim of Malaysia. The Southern Tigers are here, hoping to rewrite the wrongs of the last campaign when they went out in the round of 16 to a Buriram United who managed to accomplish a last 8 finish for the second time. Now these great rivals meet. Fresh faces, old wounds to heal. It is going to be an engrossing contest. It may not be the highest scoring of contests, but it certainly will be a spectacle. It always is when we get the finest teams of Thailand and Malaysia meeting in the Southeast Asian Derby. A warm evening in Buriram, the capital of Buriram province, 300 kilometres northeast of Bangkok. Johor Darul Tazim have visited from Johor Bahru, the capital of the Malaysian state of Johor, at the southern end of the Malay Peninsula, bordering Singapore. And they will hope to go home with 3 points, precious points, at the start of the East Region League stage in the AFC Champions League Elite. It's the honour for Arif Aiman and Kenny Dougal to lead their teammates down the line. In goal for the Thunder Castle is Neil Etheridge, who has played over 80 times for the Philippines. The captain is number 16, Kenny Dougal, who was an ever-present in the league last season. Watch for new signings, Robert and Peter Julia, who wear numbers 32 and 44 respectively. The Austrian brothers will bring a lot to Buriram United. Number 9, Supachai Chaided, is on the bench for the home team. He's won 15 trophies with this great club. A contest like this needs an official who can handle big occasions. Fortunately, we certainly have one in Mr. Alireza Faghani of Australia. And his colleague Kate Yashevitz will look after the video review system. Andoni Thubiare keeps goal for the Southern Tigers. He remains the chosen man for AFC competitions. Stylish young winger Arif Aiman wears the captain's armband. He has scored 4 and set up 4 already in the league this season. On the subject of people scoring goals, number 11, Jaiho, is the new signing everyone is talking about. The experienced Brazilian scored in the first minute of his debut for Johor Darul Tazim. And if one dangerous Brazilian attacker isn't enough, Bergson is on the bench. He wears number 9. Record-breaking goal scorer for the Malaysian champions. Talking of record breakers, we just caught a glimpse of Supanat Mwanta, the youngest ever scorer in the AFC Champions League. 16 years and 8 months against Beijing Guoan in April of 2019. And he scored a very big goal in the 93rd minute of the tie with Ulsan HD last season. So many new players, and there is a great sense of excitement about just how they will all work together on a stage like this, because the league form has been really impressive. But these are clubs who have a richly deep squad, and they will often use quite different combinations in the Champions League. The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed, wherever you call home and whoever you're supporting in this meeting between Buriram United and Johor Darul Tazim. the best teams in Thailand and Malaysia respectively. They meet in the greatest competition in Asia, the AFC Champions League Elite, and there's an early opportunity for the home team. That's an absolutely extraordinary start. The visitors have scored. Absolutely incredible in the first minute of this contest. Well, I was saying beforehand that it might well be a tight match. That is unexpected. Buriram United 0, Johor Darul Tazim 1. Absolutely amazing. João Figueiredo, the goal scorer, beating Neil Etheridge. Now that is remarkable. Figueiredo, who's just joined the club after a couple of years in Istanbul. Well, he was a bull in a china shop there. It is going to be scrutinised. Video review assessing the first-minute goal, provisional first-minute goal of João Figueiredo. An anxious wait after Johor Darul Tazim couldn't have got started more quickly. Figueiredo is the man who is most nervous of all. He's already scored 3 in 5 matches in the league for his new club. And there's quite a lengthy review. Now, very interesting. Alireza Fagani is going over to the monitor, to the delight of the Buriram United supporters, because they sense an overrule. Now is that the issue? Use of the arm. Now that does look rather compelling, and for João Figueiredo rather disappointing. It's the judgment of Mr. Fagani that he leans across to bring that ball under control with his left arm. What a fascinating start to the contest. Viewed from another angle. I'm sure many of you remember that Johor Darul Tazim had a goal disallowed in the round of 16 against Buriram United in the last campaign with virtually the last kick. Well, they scored with virtually the first kick of this campaign. And it, by the looks of things, has been confirmed. Or has it not? No goal. There we go. Use of the hand from João Figueiredo. Well, what an extraordinary start to this meeting between Buriram United and Johor Darul Tazim. And how it is so evocative of the way the round of 16 tie ended in the last edition of the AFC Champions League Elite. Possession for Buriram, 22, Kom Yong Sok. Signed from Daegu FC in January. Stojkovic with a touch on, played by Robert Julian. Back by Nacho Mendes to Andoni Rubiare. The 28-year-old goalkeeper from the Basque country in Spain. Here is Peter Julia. Played by Robert Julia, tries to beat the offside trap, and that has gone under the goalkeeper. Is that going to stand? Guilherme Bissoli. Buriram United 1, Johor Darul Tazim 0. A super ball from Robert Julia, the new signing. And Guilherme Bissoli slotted underneath Andoni Rubiare. And we'll keep a very close eye on the timing of that run. That surely is going to be checked and is rather in doubt. It's a very good finish, and it's a fine ball from Julia. A difficult one for Rubiare because it's right under his body. Not easy to get the feet to it, not easy to drop down and get the arm to it. No surprise that there is a check in progress. I sincerely hope that none of you are just switching on now and have missed the start of this match, because it's been extraordinary. Kate Yashevitz in communication with Ali Reza Fagani. And offside confirmed. And it looked really very clear from the moment that the first replay was visible to us. From 2 goals to no goals, as you were then, inside the first 10 minutes of this meeting between the champions of Thailand and Malaysia respectively. We're thoroughly entertained. Osmar Loss in charge of the team. Not a well-named manager, because loss is not something he's accustomed to when responsible for Buriram United. 8 out of 66 losses, 45 wins. Fabulous record. Took over in June of 2024 after leaving Persepolis. Won the Persian Gulf Pro League in his 6 months there. Stojkovic from right back plays it long. Isco Munoz, 5 years younger at 45 than Loss. 400 plus appearances as a player, including at clubs like Valencia. He was born in lovely Manacor in Mallorca, in the Balearic Islands. Took over this summer and has won all 7 matches so far. We look again at that handball from Figueiredo. Going to have to be very alert, the Johor Darul Tazim defenders, because there's a couple of attempts that have nearly successfully got behind them. There is João Figueiredo, who has a very local connection to Malaysia. His grandmother was born in Negeri Sembilan, close to where the club is based. Johor Darul Tazim had a fascinating match with Negeri Sembilan in the league not so long ago, 5-3 win. The only 3 goals they've conceded, by the way. They're top of the league with 5 wins from 5 matches, 18 goals, and those 3 conceded. Buriram United, top of their league with 4 out of 4 wins, 12 goals and 4 against. Silva can't keep it in play. 31-year-old from La Plata in Argentina. Joined the club after leaving Getafe. And then amidst all of those new players that I was talking about, we glimpse Supanat Mwanta, who spent pretty much his whole career at Buriram United, apart from a loan spell in Belgium. Now there is a very dangerous new signing, that gentleman, Johor, 33, from Rio de Janeiro. Certainly barges into Kenny Dougal, but he scored 4 goals in his first 5 matches in the league. Spent 4 years at Paphos in Cyprus before coming to the club. Bisoli. Claimed by the experienced Neil Etheridge. As we look there at the young but still very experienced Arif Ayman of Johor Darul Tazim, number 42. Akeche. Silva. Gibson goes. And the free kick has been won. Late challenge from Filip Stojkovic. Akeche, born in Bilbao. Another new signing, just joined the club from a spell at Zaragoza. Very experienced player. Akeche, oh, it's a brilliant effort, kept out by Etheridge. And then almost right towards Figueiredo. Akeche keeps the attack alive, and that was a little on the ambitious side. That really did loop. Dropped worryingly, and I'm not sure if Etheridge touched it or if it's the post. I think it's the latter. He had to fly across his goal, Neil Etheridge. Sometimes as a broadcaster one worries when building up a game with ferocity at the start that it isn't going to live up to expectations, and it can be the case when you have a meeting of great rivals, that the game itself can almost be overshadowed by the rivalry and the circumstances around it. Very much not the case today. It's been a fascinating start. And it is what one wishes for in a competition like the AFC Champions League Elite. When you get the domestic champions, and such dominant domestic champions, they meet, and you hope for a spectacle. And we have one. Chalcic wears number 23 for Buriram United. Gentleman born in Belgrade in Serbia. He's won 6 trophies with the club. And if you spend any significant, or maybe not even significant, period of time with Buriram United or Johor Darul, you're going to win things. Decision for Dougal. Sensibly plays it away. Ayman restarts, gets it back from Akeche. Akeche, dangerous, very dangerous. It's John Irathabal. Player born in Bilbao, but who is Malaysian. He's just joined the club from Sabah. And this is where it gets complicated, because it's the Sabah in Azerbaijan that he has just been at for a few years. Played about 100 matches for them and finished his time there by winning the Azerbaijani Cup. But he also has a grandfather from Sabah in northern Borneo. Spelt the same, very different places. And it would be, by the way, no surprise if John Irathabal got on the scoreboard, because he's managed to get the ball in 4 times in the 5 league matches so far. It's already his best goal-scoring season, and he's 5 games into it. Antonio Glaude. Hector. Robert Julia. It's going to be a very important creative force in the Buriram United team. He's having words spoken to him by Alireza Fagani in the aftermath of that foul. Foul it certainly was on Goran Chalcic. He's played in the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League for Red Star Belgrade. The noise builds up in the Thunder Castle. A sense of awkward juxtaposition, because Buriram literally means the peaceful city, or the city of happiness. Rarely peaceful in this stadium. No foul on Peter Julia. Australian Dougal to Etheridge. Buriram United 11 times the Thai League One champions. Johor Darul Tazim, the same accolade in Malaysia, 11 times consecutive. And just to give you some context on that, before they did it, no Malaysian team had ever won the league more than twice in a row since the new league system was founded in the early 1980s. So they haven't just broken records, they've walloped them. Hector, clever ball, nicely controlled by Akeche. Arif, back to Akeche. Signs there that that could be a nice creative link-up between numbers 42 and 47, Arif and Akeche. As we look at number 24, Buriram United, Shane Patinama. Reclaimed land in the north of the Netherlands, but claimed by Indonesia as one of their own. Played at the AFC Asian Cup in Qatar. Figueiredo. And that's well cut out. But just taken a little too far, and maybe a painful one. Problems here for Buriram United as the ball is clipped away by Ko Myong-sok. Didn't look particularly nice for number 20, Shane Patinama. Rather overextended himself as he took the first touch. Looked like he just got a bit of a thump, and it's nothing more than that. Space for Hector. Flicks it nicely to Figueiredo. Clever play. Johor. And Figueiredo just comes galloping back and sends it to Tubiaure. Antonio Glauder from Andalusia. Joined the club after leaving Cadiz. Had a bit of a gap because he left the Spanish club in January. He also has nationality shared between Spain and the Philippines. Silva to Hector. Looks for options, and the idea was a very sound one to play it towards Figueiredo. Some nice creative football being played by the pair of them. Still no goals, 2 disallowed ones. We are just beyond the halfway stage of the first half on match day 1 of the 2025-2026 AFC Champions League Elite. Sarafilov. Glauder decides to try driving forwards on his own. He's fouled by Robert Julia. anything to debate about the challenge. Seemed to get something like a knee or a thigh striking him in the face as he fell, the Spanish defender. Very popular tourist destination, the province of Buriram, particularly due to its temples, and a lot of space down the right wing. The fullback was touched behind by Curtis Good, who backtracked well, the experienced Australian. Forward comes Glauder. To take the corner kick for Johor Darul Tazim. The ball is strong. Glauder got the first touch. It's with Hector. Hector left-footed. And very tempting to strike it, and actually the deflection made that problematic. Aher Akeche was the player, I believe, who hit it ambitiously on the volley. Was a necessary intervention by Robert Julia. Amazingly kept out and then put in by Glauder. His second goal for the club, his first in continental competition. Buriram United 0, Johor Darul Tazim 1. Quick reactions from Antonio Glauder, the Andalusian. And now they wait to see, will this one stand? First jump was from Irazabal. Again, no surprise. Such is the way he's been playing for his new club. Goalkeeper could stop it, but could only guide it towards Antonio Glauder. Right place, right time, and if you're supporting Johor Darul Tazim, right outcome. This one will stand. We have the opening goal of what has been a fascinating match between the champions of Thailand and Malaysia. And important to remember that that chance actually came from a very ambitious and almost implausible strike from Akeche. That required a touch behind. And they're in the mood for implausible things, it seems, today, Johor Darul Tazim, as Figueiredo saw a narrow gap. My good. Etheridge to Kom Yong Sok. Started 5 in the AFC Champions League Elite for Buriram United last season. Julia to brother Roberts. Has it taken away from him? Certainly some appeals from the Johor Darul Tazim players, but the referee convinced the ball was won. Buriram United pulled back and off the post from Robert Julia, and then a wayward second attempt. And it was better on that occasion. Excellent delivery. It really was well judged. In from Patinama, headed down against the post by Robert Julia, who's already scored in the league for Buriram United. Scored 9 goals in 30 appearances in the Austrian Bundesliga for Linzer ASK last season. And his teammate today, Filip Stojkovic, was also in that squad. Figueiredo. Jairo. He loses it, and another really hopeful attempt. It was Peter Julia who fancied catching Thubiare off his line. A reminder of that opportunity. So close, there's no doubt that had that been just an inch or two closer to goal, it would have gone in, because Thubiare was spectating. A little displeasure at that altercation. Oh, Filip Stojkovic rather needlessly involving himself afterwards. Let's have a look at it again. Goes straight into Cisco Munoz. And there was no animosity there between those two, but there just seemed to be a little reaction afterwards from that gentleman. Cisco Munoz, with all of his experience, won't have been too bothered about it. Filip Stojkovic, by the way, comes to Buriram United with a lot of experience in European continental competition. He's played in all 3 UEFA club events with over 60 appearances. Etheridge to captain Kenny Dougal. Finished 8 of the 10 matches that he started in the AFC Champions League Elite last season. And ever present in the league as well, albeit with 1 appearance as a substitute. It's a huge part of the team. Guilherme Bissoli, biggest contribution from him was that effort in the 7th minute that was disallowed. The number 7 for Buriram United is a winner of the Copa Sudamericana. Won it with Atletico Paranense in 2021. So another with some continental pedigree. And that is of great importance to both of these clubs as they seek to really push towards the very last moments of the AFC Champions League Elite. Because the ambition is not simply to be there, that is almost a given, so dominant are they in their respective nations, so impressive is the calibre of their squad and the way that they play their football. So now it's no longer about enjoying the experience of being in the group stage, which has now become the league stage. And it's no longer even about getting to the knockout stage. It's going as far as possible, really right towards the quarter-final and beyond. Buriram did make the quarter-final stage last time. Hector's ball flicked by Figueiredo, but no one there to be the recipient. I haven't seen a great deal of Johor so far. Scored in the first minute of his debut on day one of the season. To Stojkovic, 4 times in the Serbian Superliga team of the season. Accurate ball to Supanat Muantar. Supanat ball laterally, nearly found Bisoli. Supanat overlapping cleverly was Stojkovic. Getting closer. And that's going to be a corner kick to the surprise of the Johor Darul Tazim players. It was left by Hector. As we look at Nacho Mendez from Asturias in the north of Spain. Just signed from his only other club, Sporting Gijón. Dougal down, back on his feet. Will he get on the end of this? Should be the goalkeepers with ease, and it is. Quickly distributed by Zubiaure to Figueiredo. Only had one option and tried to exercise it to Arif. Akeche. He's looked exciting, hasn't he? Over 400 appearances and around 70 goals for all of his clubs in all competitions. Did have a few seasons where he made a handful of appearances for Athletic Bilbao in the top flight of Spanish football. Other than that, his time in Spain was in the second tier. He's looking first-rate in terms of creativity for Johor Darul Tazim, as Peter Julia is fouled. Stojkovic once more, enjoying the chance to try to get forward and be a little creative. Peter Julia's ball towards Supanat. Will stay with the home team. Montenegrin the throw. Supanat trying to sneak around behind Irazabal. He is a well-known danger to Johor Darul Tazim. Starting to get a little bit more of a profile in this match, the 23-year-old. Last 5 minutes or so of the first half. Corner kick for Buriram United. It's played short and it doesn't quite rebound to Guilherme Bissoli. Oh, there's rather silly behaviour. Ko Myung-sok, and the score of the goal, Antonio Glauder. There were a few Buriram United players and supporters who thought that there was a use of the hand by João Figueiredo. Not for the first time. Everything has for now calmed down, but Ko and Glauder are still right up against each other. Will this corner kick be more useful? It will, but Thubiaure clears quite effectively. Back in from Chausic. Loose, Bissoli, really nicely blocked by Israfilov. And it comes again, but that time it's harmless. Bissoli certainly would be among the players you would most likely pick to get the equalising goal. 6 in 4 games in the league. And that after 25 in 30 matches last season. A total of 43 goals and 61 appearances and 9 assists as well across all competitions. Unsurprisingly, he got a new contract. Keche. Cushioned back sensibly by Patinama. Eta Julia. A few options. Here's Subhanat Mwanta. The attack continues, and calling for it vehemently was Bissoli. Chausic. An opportunity now for the equaliser. Nice save by Thubiaure. Subhanat Mwanta testing the Spaniard with seconds left in regulation time at the end of the first half. Really quite a comfortable save for Thubiaure. His first big opportunity. The youngest ever AFC Champions League scorer. Feels like a lifetime ago. April of 2019 against Beijing Guan. Another dangerous corner kick. Touch from Irazabal. Hector clears. Cheho did well to keep that in play. Hector hoping for a foul. Referee hoping he'll get up quickly. Kenny Dougal just about kept in play, and importantly kept in play because we got 5 additional minutes to enjoy in this first half. No surprise there, considering the stoppages we had for video review. Eta Julia behind. Hasn't he been busy? Johnny Rathabal. And again, a corner kick from that side. Robert Julia standing over the ball. They've started to look quite threatening. Difficult one to clear, and almost in. Dougal was so close to getting a touch. The ball nearly crept over the line anyway. Curtis Good with the header. Came rather off the top of his head. The home team may well go into the break a goal behind, but there is little need to be disheartened because they've created a strong number of chances. Not that their opponents aren't in the same position. Dare I do that dangerous thing of suggesting that it's unlikely to remain a 1-0 game? Well, I've just done it, haven't I? But certainly it seems that there will be more goals. Unless this match takes on a very different identity in the second half. Quickly played, purposefully played and read by Thubiare. Thubiare, as I'm sure many of you know, does share the majority of his name with one of the all-time goalkeeping greats, Tony Thubiare. Also a gentleman from that same part of the world, Basque Country. Thubiare was born in Vitoria-Gasteiz. Beautiful place. Thubiare in Ordizia, not too far away from it. Figueiredo was the first player to try to give chase. I think he was the intended target. And actually, Arif was the one more likely to get there. No doubt that Stojkovic was playing everyone well and truly onside. Silva. The ball will require intervention by Buriram United. Seconds left in the first half. Difficult one. Will be a little easier, one suspects, for Patinama. Rathabal. Nacho Mendez sensibly goes back to Thubiare. May well be the last opportunity. What an absolutely fascinating first half. It's been extraordinary. 2 disallowed goals in the first 10 minutes. First from João Figueiredo of Johor Darul Tazim. The second from Guilherme Bissoli of Buriram United. We did eventually get a goal just inside the half-hour mark from Antonio Glauder. There have been plenty of opportunities. Akeche striking the post for the Malaysian team. Robert Julia doing the same for the Thai champions. All of that suggests we've got a lot still to enjoy and a lot still to come. At half-time, Buriram United 0, Johor Darul Tazim 1. Welcome back to the Thunder Castle. Buriram United and Johor Darul Tazim. They meet on match day 1 of the 2025-2026 AFC Champions League Elite. It's the East region and the league stage. And on this first of 8 match days, it's advantage to the visitors, the team in red, courtesy of Antonio Glauder's 28th minute goal. A rebound after John Irathabal had tested Neil Etheridge. A header from a corner kick, put in by the foot of Glauder. But there is a sense that Buriram United have a lot that they're still capable of showing in this second half. The fans don't seem to be too disheartened. He thought he'd scored earlier, as did Johor Darul Tazim's João Figueiredo. We're underway in the second half at the Buriram Stadium at the Thunder Castle in this meeting between Buriram United, the champions of Thailand, and Johor Darul Tazim, the champions of Malaysia, in the AFC Champions League Elite league stage East region. Just one goal scored by Antonio Glauder, just inside of the half-hour mark. Both teams have struck the post. Neither manager has made any changes at half-time. Let's put it now in possession. Stojkovic, flicked on by Peter Julia. Curtis Good drives forwards, out to the left to Patinama. Shane Patinama was caught by Arif Ayman. Clipped him. Got him on the back of the left leg. "23-year-old captain of Johor Darul Tazim, born about 300 kilometres north of Johor in Kuantan, the state capital of Pahang. He teams up with Hector to form the wall. Challenging but well read. Peter Julia requiring activity from Anthony Thubiare. Decision-making has been very secure so far. The 28-year-old goalkeeper for Johor Darul Tazim, who is preferred as the Champions League Elite goalkeeper. Shihen Hazmi is on the bench. The Malaysian goalkeeper who's won 9 trophies with the club and who's played 4 times in the league. Just found his way through from Arif. Looked like it was going to be intercepted. Chasing it is João Figueiredo. He needs some support. Figueiredo did well though to keep the attack alive. Here's Nacho Mendes. And the ball almost gets flicked. And it could have gone anywhere once that came off the head of Ko Myong-sok. Difficult one for a defender, knowing you've got somebody behind you, knowing there's a chance if you don't get the contact right, you can basically perfectly place it beyond your own goalkeeper. Again, from deep, played by Peter Julia. He and Robert Julia clearly are going to be the creative hubs. Bisoli is hoping to be the finisher, but so far his chances have been quite limited. Little apology from Ali Fayman. Good. Who himself actually went close with a slightly unorthodox headed chance in the first half that nearly went to his own defensive teammate Kenny Dougal. Supanat Wanta tested Thubiaure in the first half as well. Julian had Adinama as the overlap, instead went to his brother Robert, and it's just going to be curled in by Supanat Wanta. What a wonderful finish to make it Buriram United 1, Johor Darul Tazim 1. The supporters looked very relaxed at half-time. They looked as though they believed that there would be more chances and there would be goals for the home team in the second half, and they were right to be relaxed. He's certainly well onside there, but that was expertly steered beyond Thubiaure. It's a beautiful goal. And he's done it again. Another goal in the AFC Champions League Elite against Johor Darul Tazim for Supanat Wanta. The tie is level. Not with a great surprise. Equally though, I would make the point that it wouldn't have been surprising if Johor Darul Tazim had scored a second goal. I think what would have been the big surprise is if nobody had scored. An open, attacking, enthralling game, and we're delighted to have your company wherever you're watching from and however much time you've been able to spend enjoying the AFC Champions League in all of its various forms over the years. We're a couple of years now into the new format of Champions League Elite and Champions League 2 as the new signing Johor tries to position himself for a shot. And it's very high from Nacho Mendez. And if by some quirk of fate this is the first opportunity you've ever had to watch a game in AFC club competition, well, consider yourself hooked, I would imagine. Consider yourself warmly invited to watch a lot more of it. You won't be disappointed. It really is one of the most exciting club competitions out there. Talking of exciting, what a burst through. This is all just a little heavy with the first touch. Good run from Robert Julia. It was Patinama driving him more centrally. Supanat, he's got an opportunity. Can he make the right decision? They must surely put it in. Robert Julia turns the game around. Buriram United lead 2-1. And the gentleman who scored the first orchestrates the second. Now, it may be that there is a review of that goal just because of the slight sense of a skirmish in the build-up to Supanat's very well-orchestrated pullback. Supanat spotting Robert Julia, the Austrian who has just signed for the club. He gets his second goal and his first in continental competition. That agonising moment for the Malaysian players because they just looked around. I mean, Antonio Glaude stands and stares with horror on his face as he realises there's nothing he can do. Sliding in was the Argentinian Silva. Two goals in 4 minutes for Buriram United, the 13th time that they played in the AFC Champions League. Two-time quarter-finalists. Last year was the second time, the first was in 2013. They were founded, Buriram United, in 1970 as the Provincial Electricity Authority Football Club. Maybe considered to be a slightly less catchy name than the current one. But they certainly have been powering Thai football for a long time. So they're keeping the spirit of their origins alive. Bisoli. Not fully away. Really good spell for Buriram United. Peter Julia. Hard to get the ball away from him. Very hard to get it away from him. They just about manage it, courtesy of Jonathan Silva. And it is a corner kick. Changes are in the works for the Malaysian champions. An emboldened crowd, an emboldened Thunder Castle Stadium. Short corner kick, Good wanted to swing at it. It was Dougal who got the first touch. Supanat wants it back and nearly gets it back. He does, courtesy of a deflection off Silva. Supanat with a clever ball, two players arriving. Peter Julia was the player closest to it initially. Well, that's going to be a foul advantage played well by Alireza Pagani, and now he will issue the yellow card. Great refereeing. Stojkovic has been cautioned, and quite understandably too. Johor Darul Tazim just need to get the ball under control. Foul on Arif Ayman gives them a chance to pause. Useful Aher Akeche will take the free kick from deep for Johor Darul Tazim. And here comes the substitution. So leaving the pitch is Eddie Israfilov, and Raul Para has come on. Raul Para wearing number 36, he's from Zaragoza in Spain. Signed 2 weeks ago after leaving Estoril in Portugal. Second time he's in possession of the ball now that he has played in Asia. He had a brief loan at Al Mina in Iraq last year. And we'll get another change. Yes, a wise decision to remove Stojkovic after this yellow card. Made his presence felt in a different way in the first half, was very effective down the right. Sandy Walsh will come on. Born in the Belgian capital of Brussels, but representing the Indonesian national team. Can play at right back or centre back. One imagines that he'll just be a like-for-like replacement for Stojkovic and sit on the right-hand side of defence. Substitute Raul Parra. Has already made his debut in the league. Just the one appearance. And it's the substitute Walsh who's down. I don't think there was much reaction time for him. There was no reaction time at all. And naturally, with the ball striking him as it has done, all of the potential head injury protocols have to be followed, and time has got to be given for that to happen. It allows us time to remind ourselves of the complete turnaround of the match. Supanat's goal. That's a lovely angle from which to enjoy the curl that he put on the ball. And his sound decision-making here. Robert Julia. A first goal in Asian continental competition. And he has scored on 4 occasions in European equivalent tournaments. Johor Darul were only founded a couple of years after Buriram United in 1972. It's PKENJFC, their current name they adopted in 2013. Certainly a foul. We just remind ourselves that Johor Darul have Bergson on the bench should they wish to bring him on. Why would one not wish to bring Bergson on based on what he's done for that great club over the years? But more pressingly, can they get Jayo more in play? Nicely cleared by Dougal. Come back in though from Arif, blocked well. Nodded back sensibly by number 20 Shane Patinama. Made his debut in the 3-2 away win against the Lampun Warriors on the first day of the season. Well won by Nacho Mendez. Figueiredo. Calling for it was Akeche. It will get to him via Raul Parra. Akeche, excellent ball, off the crossbar, amazing from Figueiredo. That was such a delightful delivery from Aher Akeche. He has wonderful technical and creative ability, the number 47 for Johor Darul Tazim. And a moment of agony for João Figueiredo, not for the first time in this match. A goal disallowed in the first minute, one that he thought surely was going to go in there. Mende, Figueiredo trying to make the run. Supanat. Ball won back fairly, to the disagreement of Supanat Wanta. Akeche. Para calls for it. 30 or so minutes to go, considering the potential for additional time. And still one fancies plenty of opportunity for twists and turns in this enthralling match on the opening couple of days of fixtures for all of these teams in the East and West regions. 2025-2026 AFC Champions League Elite and the league stage. 8 of the 12 will go through. So if you are defeated early on in your campaign, there's no reason to be disheartened. There's time with 8 match days to turn your fortunes around. But the problem is there are very good teams that you've got to play against in order to turn around those fortunes, because every match is extremely tough. And the next match for Buriram United is a visit to the capital city of the Republic of Korea to face FC Seoul on the 30th of September. And on the same day, Johor Darul Tazim will host matchday from Japan. Touched on by Hector. Jayo taken away from him. Akeche plays it laterally to Para, who wants to shoot. A touch taken and a corner kick for the Malaysian champions. Alif. Akeche. Simple pass and an effective one. And punched away just about by Etheridge. Again, it was one of those balls that could have landed in a very dangerous area, and he got the job done, the experienced goalkeeper. Irathabal it was, again, just as it was, albeit with his head, from the corner kick that led to that rebound from Glauder. Arif comfortably cleared. Foul by the Spaniard Nacho Mendez. Has got Malaysian heritage, his grandfather is from Penang. And we remind ourselves of this brilliant chance for Figueiredo. That may have been stopped by Etheridge. Just wondering if, with the right arm, he touches that onto the bar. And if he did, and it looks more and more like he did every time we see it, then he's actually made a crucial touch. Around 20 minutes left, plus the additional time. A much stronger spell for the Malaysian champions, Johor Darul Tazim. Imposingly cleared by Curtis Good. Can they sneak a counter-attacking goal, the home team? With the sort of players they have, there's probably a decent chance of it. Great backtracking from Supanat Wanta. Saw that Akeche was calling for it, read the pass. Bolsh, the substitute who came on for Filip Stojkovic. Bisoli, now, surely, yes, there we go, offside again. He thinks that he's got a good chance of having this overruled. Let's see, let's see. Well, that's the end of that. The second time that Guilherme Bisoli has been caught offside, and quite clearly offside. The first one was initially given as a goal. Jaiho slips as he plays it, but it nearly was perfect for Figueiredo nonetheless. Well done, Kenny Dougal. We're going to see Supachai Chaided, who has won 15 trophies with Buriram United. He's twice been the Thai League top scorer as well. First and foremost, though, for Buriram is this corner kick to deal with. Rather deals with itself. Athabal keeps possession alive and comfortably gathered by Neil Etheridge. Robert Julian, who's had such an impressive first game in the AFC Champions League Elite. And here we go. Attacking change coming for Johor Darul Tazim. First of all, Supanat Wanta is departing, having played his part magnificently, and let's remind ourselves of how he did it. Julia to Supanat, and then a role reversal for the next one. be replaced by Faisal Mulic. Number 99, Faisal Mulic, has just joined the club from Elimay Semey in Kazakhstan. We're also saying goodbye to Guilherme Bissoli. And we've got Supachai Chaided on. He wears number 9 for Buriram United. Comes from Patani in the far south of Thailand. As you would expect for that part of the world, its name, Patani, possibly comes from the word for beach in Malay. Well, there is an argument that says it comes from the name of the daughter of the founder of the Langkasuka Empire, which was based in that region. I'll leave the historians to argue about it. See who can win this contest, and that might be a foul. Penalty kick. An immediate impact made by Supachai Chaided as he forces the issue, and Buriram United look to force themselves into a 2-goal lead. He's brought down by the substitute Raul Para, who reaches across, grabs hold of Supachai Chaided. It was inelegant from the Spaniard, and it could be extremely costly for Johor Darul Tazim. Are we going to immediately see Faisal Mulic get on the scoreboard? Silva being told to go away and keep his distance by, first of all, Goran Chausic, and second of all, and most importantly of all, Alireza Fagani. As Faisal Mulic, who is yet to score for the club, who has only just signed for them, and who is playing his first ever continental match. He has his chance now. The arguments made by the Malaysian champions continue. We now have confirmation that the penalty kick is being scrutinised further. Hence the delay. So we'll just wait to see. Now this is interesting, isn't it? Alireza Fagani has been recommended by Kate Yacevic to review it. There's no doubt that Raul Para takes a risk by this action to reach across and possibly make contact with the arm of Supachai Chaided. It's a question of whether it really is sufficient activity to force the Thai player down to the ground. He's overruled himself at the suggestion of the video review team. No penalty kick. relieved Raul Parra, and so much video review in this match. And it's made a huge difference as well, giving the officials the opportunity to scrutinise those big moments further. Disappointment for Faisal Mulic, who thought that he was going to have a very good chance of getting his first goal for Buriram United. Now, meanwhile, we've got Bergson on. He has replaced Jaiho. And will wear number 9 for Johor Darul Tazim. And those of you who are new to watching the Malaysian champions, we'll come back to that because this is dangerous. Mulic, can he control it? Not quite, and Rathabal saves the day for Johor Darul Tazim. Well, I was talking about how dangerous the front man is for the Malaysian champions, but we very nearly had that interrupted by the dangerous new front man for the Thai champions. But back to Bergson. He is an enormous part of the recent success of Johor Darul Tazim. Mulic. Somebody needs to get it away, Raul Parra does. He hasn't played as prominently, Bergson, this season as last, but then that's a pretty tough act to follow. He has scored 1 in 5 games in the league. But the gentleman that you're looking at there, last season scored an incredible 32 goals in 22 matches. And that is brilliantly stopped by Etheridge. Fabulous goalkeeping. João Figueiredo will be wondering what more he needs to do. Well, there is the angle to appreciate the agility of Etheridge. He was certain that was going to go in. So were many of the Johor Darul Tazim fans. So I'm sure many of you watching at home. Still, this game is so precariously balanced. Here is Bergson looking to play his part. The ball is won fairly. Mendez doing enough to stall Peter Julian. The yellow card has been shown to substitute Sandy Walsh. Bergson. Figueiredo. Tough to keep in play and impossible even for somebody the pace of Arif Ayman. A departure for Jonathan Silva. The arrival of Oscar Arribas. Going to see Afiq Fazail coming on in the midfield. Still more changes. Shane Lowry also coming on. Australian defender. As we look at Neil Etheridge, whose impact was huge just a matter of moments ago. Does wonderfully to cushion the ball as well and not steer it back into the potential path of an on-rushing red-shirted player to put in the rebound, as happened for the Glauder goal. Rathabal has gone off. Lowry coming on. Defender for defender. Oscar Arribas wearing number 24. Joined the club in 2023 after a short spell at Cartagena came to an end. He's from Pala in the Madrid area. Sitting in midfield is number 4, Afiq Fazail. And he is actually from Pontian in Johor, a district in the southwest of the state, so very much a local player. Well won back. Substitute, Supachai Chaided. He's got a decision to make, goes for the simple ball to Chausic. Chausic tried to find Faisal Mulic. Figueiredo got a touch, but it's back with Peter Julia. Walsh has to be sensible and go back to Neil Etheridge. Will Etheridge's fantastic save be the decisive moment in the closing stages of this match, or will we have more to come? Yeah, certainly did get caught by Afiq Fazail. Afiq Fazail is playing in his 41st continental match in AFC competition, all for Johor in various tournaments. Mulic. At the moment, things are going the way of the round of 16 stage in last year's competition, when Buriram United won by a single goal. Better be safe than sorry, the decision taken by Raul Parra. One thing that has been notable in this match is that Johor Darul Tazim have really struggled to get, firstly, Jaiho and secondly, Bergson, although with limited time, really involved in the play. And that is certainly going to have been part of the game plan of Buriram United. One Brazilian, Osmalos, creating a game plan to deny 2 others. We drift closer to the end of the fixture. Buriram United 2, Johor Darul Tazim 1. That may change now. Bergson, really well blocked. Arif, another chance, and again a great block. Kom Young Sok, hugely important on both occasions. Lowry, Parra from quite a deep position. It was a challenging one. Mulic using up time and drawing a foul, cleverly done from Faisal Mulic, and rather desperately done from the Malaysian champions. First really high-profile moment from substitute Oscar Arribas in this match. Not the kind of high-profile moment he wanted. No return fixture as Mulic tries to turn and fashion a shot in the new format of the AFC Champions League Elite. 8 match days against different opponents. Different from the previous edition of the tournament from a few years ago, where you had effectively home and away fixtures as part of a 4-team group. We all couldn't believe our luck as football fans when this was drawn for match day 1. And it has lived up to its billing. What more is there in store? Arif towards Bergson, controls it, and it's saved brilliantly by Etheridge. It's not going to count anyway. But he didn't know. There the danger of Bergson demonstrated, how quickly he got into a position to hit that shot. Albeit with an infraction, probably a use of the arm. But all of that was of no interest to Neil Etheridge, who had to do his job and get down low. He blocked it beautifully. 8 additional minutes to play. Akeche has a little space, but not too much of it, as Buriram United defend with some discipline. Figueiredo overhits the pass to Bergson, puts his hands on his head. Bergson, the top scorer for the club. A gentleman who's managed to achieve legendary status in a very short amount of time. Bringing it forwards. Nacho Mendez goes out to the right wing to Raul Parra. There are more Buriram United changes to come. There's a very nervous atmosphere, but the nerves will be calmed if Buriram United can get a goal here. But backtracking, Shane Lowry deprives Peter Julia of a good cross. Robert Bang and Pitiwat Sukhjit Hamakul to come on. First player departing is Robert Julia, who will take a leisurely approach as we enjoy at our leisure this goal from the new signing, returning the favour, combining with Supanab Wanta for both of the goals. Also departing is Goran Čaušić. So Robert Bau, wearing number 4, will come on to put some might into the defence. No real attempt made to attack that corner kick from the Thai champions. And that's been touched behind by Raul Parra. And that will allow time to be used up. Sitting on the substitutes bench, Tereton Bunmatan. The first Thai player to win the Japanese top flight. Referee Alireza Fagani has had enough of the game-delaying tactics of Buriram United. Figueiredo. And he is wrestled off the ball fairly by Ko Myung-sok, who's been very strong in this game. And what must Ko Myung-sok be feeling, having seen the draw, knowing that he is going to be travelling in a couple of weeks' time to his home city, to the capital of the Republic of Korea. And on that occasion, pretty much everyone there will be against him. Forward from Aher Akeche. Cleared well by Dougal. We confirm that that yellow card was shown to Peter Julia for delaying the restart of the game. We've also got a yellow card to Ko Myung-sok. Nacho Mendez. Rather heavy but fair challenge in the judgment of the referee. Searching with increasing desperation for the goal. Johor Darul Tazim, who look as though they are going to again narrowly miss out, and again narrowly feel disappointment against Buriram United. And it is one of those matches where whichever team loses will come away with it, will come away from it thinking about all of the many what-if moments. And there are so many. The match has been full of forks in the road. And unfortunately for Johor Darul Tazim in the AFC Champions League Elite, victory against Buriram United is the road less travelled. Figueiredo, and then a collision with Dougal, who was very unhappy about it. And the two of them reconcile momentarily. Bergson having to drop quite deep. Arif cannot get beyond Shane Patinama, who has committed the foul. We've got just about a minute to go. Just too busy with his arms. Down Arif Ayman. And this is where another quality delivery from Aher Akeche is so desperately needed for Johor Darul Tazim. And there have been plenty of high-quality balls from him in this match. It needs to be now, and it needs to be well attacked. Akeche, that, unfortunately for him, is probably his weakest effort of the entire game. And Etheridge, who has made a couple of superb saves, finishes the contest with his easiest bit of work. It's been full of action from literally the moment it began. And they're about to jump for joy. Clear foul, but will there be time for the ball to go forwards? It's been an absolutely enthralling match. Wonderful entertainment at the Buriram Stadium on match day 1 of the AFC Champions League Elite. In the East Region League stage, we were treated to an all-action encounter between the great Southeast Asian rivals Buriram United and Johor Darul Tazim. Two disallowed goals early on, both teams striking the post, defenders scoring, a veteran and a new signing combining, all of it leading ultimately to the crucial goal put in by Robert Julia, set up by Supanab Mwanta after he himself had responded to Julia's excellent pass to curl the ball into the back of the net for the equaliser. 3 points for the Thai team, 3 points for the home side. It finishes Buriram United 2, Johor Darul Tazim 1.